On this past Thursday, the bishops of the United States at their meeting in Florida held a special Mass, maybe you viewed it on live stream, during which on this occasion of our 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States, they consecrated our nation to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. The Sacred Heart has long been an icon in Catholic devotion. Yet, with all things that become familiar, the true meaning and message can get a bit obscured by some exaggerated pieties or some overly imaginative paintings that just emerge over time. But let us find in the readings today a truer portrait, in another sense, of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. No, not a graphic painting of a human heart burning and bleeding, but descriptions of the motives and actions of Jesus that reveal a heart that is actually the perfection of mercy and love. Indeed, in our gospel, as Jesus surveys those crowds before him assembled in Galilee, and he sees people who are seeking something, but they don't really know what. They are confused and directionless, much as he said, like sheep without a shepherd, and so very vulnerable to being led astray and getting lost. Yet Jesus does not criticize or blame them. He doesn't belittle them in any way for not totally getting it, nor does he scheme how he might take advantage of their vulnerability and manipulate them for his own advantage, as sadly we have certainly seen in cases like Jim Jones and other cult leaders in our own day and age. Rather, we are told that the heart of Jesus is pained by what he sees before him, and so he is moved to pity for them. So even though himself tired, he rises to the occasion to give the people what he knows they truly need, which are teachings that will reveal to them God's kingdom and give them a roadmap, in a sense, to follow in order to find it, thus giving them what they needed, a direction in life. How many parents, teachers, mentors, and even friends have had a similar experience in the sense that they watch a young person whom they care for and have tried to form and set on the right path end up falling off that path and start to truly get lost in life? What's the all too human reaction to that? Sometimes it's bitter disappointment and maybe even anger. And it might even lead to that impulse to just give up on them and walk away so as not to have to witness someone's self-destruction. And can we blame them? Yet we learn from the scriptures that this is not the approach of Jesus, whose it is pity, but not from the stance of superiority, but rather a feeling of sincere sorrow rooted in the deepest love, rooted in a heart that is limitlessly merciful and forgiving, and therefore, no matter how weary, is always ready to take further action for the ultimate good of those falling into whatever would endanger their well-being, be that worldly or eternal. This is the Sacred Heart, a divine heart that loves unconditionally. The ultimate proof of that is quite succinctly stated for us by St. Paul in this letter to the Romans, which we have heard as our second reading. There he reminds those who will hear his words that Jesus Christ died for us. Yes, he laid down his life for us on the cross to save us. Most importantly, he did this not because we are worthy of his sacrifice, but he did so even though we are still sinners. Yes, Jesus Christ loves us so much that he offers the sacrifice of his life in perfect obedience to his Father to atone for our helplessness and our habitual disobedience. And he does so not because we deserve it, but precisely because we don't, revealing that the divine love he harbors in his Sacred Heart is truly without any limit or condition whatsoever. So when we look up at a crucifix that is always the most prominent and central symbol before us in this or any Catholic church, what reaction does that evoke in us? Is it indifference because we are so accustomed to seeing it? Or rather, is it the depth of gratitude that is appropriate because we are truly aware and fully appreciate what Christ out of love willingly suffered in order to save us? Indeed, whether it be a crucifix or an image of the Sacred Heart that we are standing before, let us always take comfort in the message that these are intended to convey to us, that in spite of our sins and human imperfections, we are completely loved by God. And so then, let us never fail to return here each week to render our praise and thanks to God for his saving love in the Eucharist we celebrate here. And let us appreciate anew that being fed by Christ himself from this altar, that like those original apostles in the gospel, we are also being empowered and sent out to proclaim God's kingdom, not by miracles because we're not capable of them, but by the healing power of love. So by our love, ever more unconditional, and our mercy that is ever more generous, let us honor the Sacred Heart, not as an image on a wall, but as what we, as Christ's disciples, are called to imitate in love.